Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about something else. This is like the continuing message to younger Iveta. I will call it like diaries, I guess, because this is not really like vlogging. This is just like a talk to younger women, and as well what I would say if I could travel in time and go and give myself a message. For those who will be curious, this is the new Wolford bodysuit. I love the fabric. It's so soft and cozy. I really love it. It's called the Buenos Aires fabric, which is a little bit different than I expected to be. It's better than I expected to be. Anyway, my dear friends. So let's get started. So if I could go back in days and give myself message as a much younger girl, I don't know if I will as a teenager understand. I think I will understand what I'm talking about in my 20s. Yeah, unfortunately, because the way I was raised, I was really not aware of feelings. I always pushed feelings to be as something what only weak people have. Yeah, I grew up in a very masculine environment, which was very toxic. Woman was considered just to be like a dirt in the air, which you blow in a direction, and that's where it's gonna go. That's the way manipulations of women in my family was normal. It's not just manipulation, it's like pressure, the pressure of who you should be, how you should live. The best thing is don't have any opinions, be obedient, be a good girl, And as a teenager, I realized because of my readings and because of my self-education, which of course didn't come from school or things like that. I was just reading a lot, magazines, which back in the days had really very good interviews with very interesting people. Now it's all just about the pictures, right? And I don't know, different stuff. But I was always reading, so I always knew there is a different world out there, And I don't want to be a dust, some dirt in the air which you blow in direction and I will go. And I was always fighting with my parents so much over this because they really wanted me to be super obedient, and I was having my own opinions. I had my own vision, and I always knew there is something else in the world for me. So my mother was always blaming my father's side of the family for me being the crazy. That's I was called. Yeah. How funny is that, isn't it? So anyway, so one of the very important messages I will give to myself, which I will probably, like I say, not really understand yet, it will be that I have to be aware of my triggers and what create these triggers, not just at the the moment of now when somebody did something or say something which makes me upset, which hurts my feelings, but more about long-term triggers, which of course goes back to the little town in Czech Republic when I was about this old. The fact that everything in our mental health is connected to our childhood is true, my dear friends. It's insane. And most of you out there always, we talk, right? We talk on my social media, we talk on my Instagram, we share our messages, our experiences. And it seems like Eastern Europe is quite similar. We all have very similar upbringing, and thank God that we knew how to get out of it. Thank God. Congratulations to you, congratulations to me, and congratulations to the women coming up there in the future. Even times is changing now. There are still people who were boxed too much in the mentality and they don't know how to get out of it, and they don't know there is better world out there. They don't know. Not long time ago, I had a conversation with a girl who is still in my town, and she has a daughter. She lives in her parents' in her childhood bedroom, And I told her, like, why don't you think of, moving out? And she's like, well, I have a daughter. Like, this is the best what I can do for her. She has like no belief in her skills, in her strength, on the survival mode. Of course, it's not great to be in survival mode, but we have two survival modes, right? We have the survival mode, which is we go and reach above our capacity and we fight for ourselves, we go for it. And then there is the survival mode, which we have on when we feel like we didn't even try, which means kind of people who gave up and or didn't or were manipulated and created, who have such insecurities from the manipulation of the environment that they don't even know that there is a capability in themselves to go and move forward in life. So I literally told her, like, you have to get out of there. Not, if not for you, do it for your daughter. She didn't know what I was talking about. She thought like, yeah. People always think, oh, she met the rich guy. So when I met my husband, we are doing nice. We have a nice life. But when we met, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like I had Chanel bags. I was wearing H&M and Zara only. My nicest handbag was Armani Exchange. Didn't have any jewelry till my 30s, really. I mean, I had like Swarovski and things like that, but not like gold, So, no, I did not marry a rich man, as people, assume, but I married a man who I believe in. I married a man who had a vision, and I married a man mainly who didn't want me to be on a scale with him. I married a man who meets me in the middle, and we are a team. We are not in fights over who is better, who is smarter, who is this. We did maybe had our arguments in this because my husband told me like I can be quite arrogant person, but it's not arrogance of I'm better than you. It's arrogance which I had to have because people always try to make me settle for their beliefs. And that was since I was a child, starting with my parents, my siblings, the friends I had. And that's all connected, right? Like these kind of people, they are all lesson, and we had to go and grow. We have to go and fight for ourselves. So yes, the best message I would give to myself would be aware of your triggers and go and heal, because you have to face your triggers for you to move forward, so the triggers are not coming back to you, because it's good to leave them in the past. It's very painful. I had the last year and a half, now the last 6 months I'm cool, but the 6 months the 6 months before that, I went through, when we were in Prague, through some very intensive detachment. I went through very intensive awareness when I just became very aware of my triggers. I became very aware of what I truly don't want and who I am not and who I am. And I wish this came to my life 10 years ago. That's why I'm kind of doing this video, because I don't know if you are my age or you are older and you still didn't face these things for yourself. You have to go in the way. It is painful, it's scary, it can be really dark and heartbreaking, but trust me, once you deal with your triggers, once you face them, it doesn't even mean you have to actually go and talk to the people. You just have to go in your mind, accept what happened, forgive to yourself that you didn't know any better, and to learn to understand that you didn't know any better. So we all do mistakes, and some mistakes are brought to our life by other people, by their behavior, but by their own insecurities, by their own triggers, by their own drama. And once you meet toxic with toxic, what's gonna happen? Explosion, right? Like, you cannot even go and clean your shower with 2 different chemicals. They will literally kill you. So think about our body like that. If you mix toxic with toxic, what happens together is dangerous. So you have to forgive yourself that you didn't know any better, because none of us do. We are humans. We don't know any better. So we have to learn, accept, forgive ourselves, and move on in life. So many things come from these triggers of our past. I'm going to share something very sensitive for me. So my husband, he always believed I have to have a relationship with my family. So he was always pushing me to go and create relationship, be around them. And every time we be outside in a restaurant and he will mention it, I will start crying. I didn't know why. I just did not know why. Every time I was going to see my family, I had nightmares like months ahead of time. One very big nightmare which I had actually since I was a child was that I am in the middle of a land, like miles and miles and miles everywhere, and there is like swamps, there is hills, there is desert, and I'm running through them. I'm fighting through the dirt, I'm fighting through the forest which is cutting me, which is pushing me, trying to choke me, pull me down under the sand, under the dirt, and I'm fighting to go home. And home is not where I grew up. Home is here. So that was, oh my God. Whew. So anyway, welcome to my trigger. So anyway, that is what was happening to me every single time. And I didn't know why. I didn't understand, because I always thought, oh, I'm daddy's girl. But as now I find out, I was being the break between the 2 toxics, right? I was little girl, I was the girl, and I was there to stop my father from being dangerous to the rest of the family. And I understood that in very young age because of his addictions. I was the breaker. Every time we went somewhere with the family, he got drunk, I was there to show him the love, which I guess he was not believing he's getting, or I don't know really what were his triggers. I think I could understand, but it's not my business. So how I'm gonna say this, how I'm gonna phrase this. As an adult woman now, 39 years old woman, I had to go through these memories, which were very painful because I forget so many of them. But my back pain, my hip pain, my neck pain, my migraines, my digestive issue, it was all connected. I got so much better once I cut off these people, unfortunately. It is very sad. I know for some people it's something they will never understand, but honestly, I was getting physically ill because of the relationship I had with that part of my life. Is it something which makes me sad sometimes? Absolutely. But like I told you, I had to go back in times and forgive myself for not understanding that I was put in a situation which led, to not understand what real love is. And if we don't go and face our triggers from the beginning, the trigger is probably not that someone cheated on you, that some friends were gossiping about you. That's not your trigger. There is something much deeper than that. Like sometimes when I see people fighting, right, I'm just like, that situation they have there, that is not the trigger. That's something triggered their trigger. It's difficult to explain if you haven't go through your own past traumas. But it's very important, very, very important, because everything from their grows in us. We become who we are, we become better, we become stronger, we become, we are able to use our brain to the full capacity. Because if you have triggers, there is something not allowing you to go and be the best version of yourself. This maybe sounds very superficial how I'm explaining it too, but if you have a blockage here, it's inflammation. Think about it like inflammation, right? And until it's there, you cannot pass through it. Think of it like a tree on a road when you're driving in your car. Until the tree is there, you cannot go through it, which means you cannot go and live your life the way you should. And everything goes from there. The way you love yourself, the way you understand love, the way you share love, the way you create your relationship, the trust you give to people, everything, your confidence, your, again, self-love, like it all is connected to your uprising from the beginning. Anyway, so I don't want to make this video too long. Like I said, I'm gonna make a little sequence of videos where I'm gonna be sharing more messages. So this is already like about 20 minutes and my battery is about to die, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little talk. I hope I was able to share with you some message, and I wanted to let you know you are not alone. We all have our triggers. Nobody is perfect. Literally, even the people who, let's say, you look up to on social media, who maybe have a lot of money or living the dream lifestyle, they're going for vacation all the time, wearing diamonds head to toe. No, we all have our triggers. We just learn how to bury them deep on inside. And one day they just come out, and you will learn nothing makes me happy. Why nothing makes me happy? Because you had to go and face your own triggers. And the triggers may were placed inside of you by your environment, Usually it's not really us, it's usually the environment, so unfortunately. I had to go and change battery because it died on me. Anyway, my dear friends, so I definitely will continue on this subject in the future, the connections to it and how, I personally became the best version of myself and how I can finally sleep. God damn, I can sleep. I sleep so good. I haven't slept good in 37 years. The first 20 years of my life, I didn't sleep at all. I remember when I moved out of my parents' house, I finally had like few hours of sleep, but I had such a deficit of sleep since my childhood. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, my dear friends, I don't want to continue going because this is going to be very long like that. But I just wanted to share with you the message that you deserve love. You deserve to be loved. You're supposed to be loved. But it's not your mistake that some people are not capable of doing it. Because, yes, they didn't learn how to have this kind of feelings. They didn't learn how to be kind, right? But you know what? What they haven't learned, it's not your mistake. That's the part which we have to understand. Just because they didn't know better doesn't mean it's your mistake, So, yeah, we all deserve to be loved. We all deserve to be respected. We all deserve to go and live our best life without toxicity from what was brought to us from different corners. So anyway, my dear friends, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm about to go. I will go to the gym and do some Pilates to stretch this body and get some strength again. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We talk about it every single time. Anyway, comment below if I connected to something which you have, which you experience, which you lived through. I know so many of you out there have very similar experiences. So yeah, I just wanted to share this message with you. So have a beautiful day and I see you next time. Bye-bye.